Welcome everyone to the Avengers podcast, where we talk Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and more. I'm your host Peyton, and with me is my co-host Torrin.
Yo.
We have a great show for everyone this week. We're going to be talking about revisionist history in film media, I guess, nerd media, whatever you want to call it, in films and TV. We also have the news of the week, so we have time codes in the description if you want to jump around. And with that, let's just get right into the news. We only have a few pieces of news this week, so let's get started. This is according to Jeff Snyder. Jordan Peele reportedly had a meeting with Marvel about one of their upcoming films. And then a couple days later, One Take Films reported that Jordan Peele was rumored to have met with Marvel Studios, but it was for their X-Men movie, but it didn't work out.
Can't have shit, bro. Can't have shit, dude. Come on.
We lost already. Oh no.
I know. We. Oh my god.
I think they should get Ryan Coogler. Why not?
Why not?
But yeah, Jordan Peele would have been.
That would have been fucking nuts.
Jordan Peele would have been something special, bro. Oh my god.
He should at least produce it. He should at least produce it. Please.
Real.
He should at least produce it.
He should definitely at least produce it.
Please, please, if you can hear me, please let Jordan Peele on a Marvel project. Please.
Let him do anything he wants.
Anything, write, direct, like produce anything. Please.
Anything.
Please save us. Save us.
This is according to Deadline. Shawn Levy is in early talks to direct the next Avengers movie. Marvel plans to meet with other directors while they wait on a decision from him. The next Avengers movie may feature more than 60 characters returning to the MCU. It is already set to be one of Marvel's biggest productions ever.
Still thinking about like 60 characters. I can't even think of like 60 plus people besides like the main characters.
I know.
You know.
And here's the thing, this would counter reports that say that the next Avengers film is a smaller story and more personal. Now, it could be maybe Deadline's like, the next Avengers movie, aka Secret Wars?
But Secret Wars, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, because 60 like obviously.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, like you said, if they're going to like a smaller story with the next one, it's like Avengers 5. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Unless it's like most of the movie's just goddamn flashbacks. Some fucking weird shit that they're doing. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But Shawn Levy, I mean, I guess we'll see when Deadpool 3 comes out, but they've been really impressed with his work so far. He seems like a safe bet for at least Kang Dynasty. And yeah, I guess it sounds like he hasn't said yes yet, and since they're talking to other directors and they're waiting on a decision from him, but I don't think I hate that choice, so why not? I still want Sam Raimi for Secret Wars though. That'd be sick.
That'd be nuts.
We also last piece of news, we have the Venom 3 trailer.
Okay, look, I'm gonna say this, bro.
Yeah, I thought
the CGI looks kind of crazy, like
in a good way or a bad way.
No, like I mean, like it looks good. Like I'm saying, it's kind of crazy because like, well, I mean, the Venom movies haven't had like, you know, god awful CGI, but I'm like, wow, like it looks really, really good in some parts. But I'm glad that the story they're going with is kind of like, I mean, I guess like somewhat different, but like, I mean, I like the fact that like they're introducing the symbiote hunters into this one with this.
Sure.
And I mean, then again, this is only the first trailer that kind of just dropped out of nowhere. There was barely like any marketing for this movie. Like, I mean, I remember you were talking about the news like a couple months ago of the Venom film, which like I was like, hey man, that shit was like nowhere to be found. But it feels like the stakes are like sort of a little higher. I don't know, but it's like a Venom movie, so like I'm not really giving up my hopes or anything, you know. But I mean, I guess I'll watch it whenever it comes out.
We're definitely watching it when it comes out. Here's the thing. I am known to be the number one Venom hater.
Yeah, you are.
The film's not the character. I love Venom generally. How do I put? I feel like there's a weird thing going around with Venom right now. Actually, maybe I should put that for a revisionist history thing. I'm going to write that down, actually. Venom. Write Venom down. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, as the number one Venom hater, I hate to say that this actually kind of looks gas.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this looks kind of crazy.
I mean, it's a trailer, and you know they could do a lot with I mean, famously, that first Suicide Squad trailer looked pretty good, and that movie is notoriously garbage. So who knows? But I mean, starting off the trailer with Venom just biting those 3 dudes' heads off, the fucking horse, bro. Hello,
the horse, the Venom horse, dude.
That's crazy. If this movie is genuinely good, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be extra pissed, because if it's bad and it's like, well, yeah, just as I expected, another garbage Sony Marvel movie, another garbage Venom movie. But if it's good, I'm gonna be like, we could have gotten this the whole time. And you fed us garbage? Are you kidding me? And they're saying that this is gonna be the last one? Like, that will be upsetting. But I mean, I hope it's good, because I just want a good Venom movie, but I'll also be upset. But yeah, it looks pretty solid. I hate to say it. No, it comes out October 25th, so there's still a ways to go.
Isn't that when Black Ops 6 drops?
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Black Ops 6 and Venom.
Yeah, it looks like I'm not watching Venom. I'm playing Black Ops 6.
Well, it's a good thing that Black Ops 6 is free for us, so we got Game Pass.
Oh, you right.
And we got that shit pre-installed.
You right. Hell yeah. Anyway, that's the news of the week, which means it's time to move on to our topic, which is revisionist history and what have you. All right, Torrin, why don't you go ahead?
I go ahead?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead? Yeah, why not?
I don't know what to say. This ain't my topic. No, I'm kidding.
This is this was literally your idea.
Yeah, it was my idea. So the topic of this is, it's revisionist history and cinema and movies in general. Most of it has to do with the MCU, because this is what I can really remember, as if that, I was on into film until very, very recently in my life. But in terms of the MCU, one of my points I'm going to make is the Incredible Hulk. I am not a fan of the Incredible Hulk. I think the movie itself is very boring. It's very flat. Ang Lee's is better. And, at the time, during the MCU, first started, the Incredible Hulk was not a good film to many people. It was very, lacked narrative and didn't really feel all that well. But now, people just after just 2018 2021, people just have this idea that Hulk is a fucking a mean monster, and they want to see just that 2008 Hulk. And people have been they consider Ruffalo's Hulk and Norton's Hulk different Hulks, when they're literally the same ones. And which is crazy, because I feel whenever people are talking about 2008 Hulk, they always talk about just the look and how most of the stuff is him just smashing and things and beating up Abomination, which is really, really crazy, because literally where did this come from? And I feel just MCU film Twitter hate, or whatever, it's a real one big echo chamber. It's people are bots and sheep. You say a negative thing about the MCU, they're gonna follow along. But yeah, so I stand by it. 2008 Incredible Hulk is fucking garbage. Ruffalo's Hulk was better. The same Hulk. Cope, cry.
Yeah, the Incredible Hulk is definitely on my list. My problem is, yes, it's a bad movie. Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk both came out in 2008. When the MCU started with both those films, they didn't know where they were going with this, as far as tone. What is this universe actually gonna look like? There's a reason that they went with the Iron Man tone and not the Incredible Hulk. The just the visual tone, the tone of everything is more Iron Man than anything. And that's because no one liked the Incredible Hulk. I mean, people thought it was okay, like serviceable, but in a time with Iron Mans and Dark Knights and stuff like that, Incredible Hulk was just kind of It was just incredibly boring. Mostly, there's a couple good moments, like when Bro gets kicked into the tree, hilarious.
just like a fucking like CGI ragdoll effect.
It's
fucking
so
crazy.
Good. Best part of the movie. But yeah, it's just not that great of a film. And now, like you said, there's people like saying like, oh, well, that was the peak of MCU Hulk, as if and saying that like Mark Ruffalo like ruined the character. Number one, Mark Ruffalo didn't do shit to the character. That's not how this works. Mark Ruffalo has done nothing wrong. He's literally just doing what the writers and producers and directors have said to do. If you don't like Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, I have more power to you, but you can't blame Mark Ruffalo. Like, he's doing a fantastic job, all things considered. Now, like, I'm not going to sit here and like defend like Smart Hulk or Professor Hulk or whatever you want to call him. I'm not gonna sit here and like defend that, but what I will defend is prior to that MCU Hulk in the Avengers and Age of Ultron, because that is peak Hulk, especially in Age of Ultron. That's peak Hulk. I don't know, like it's like they thought 2008 The Incredible Hulk came out, and then right after that, all of a sudden we get Smart Hulk. Like, that's not that's what they're acting like. They never want to bring that up because it doesn't fit their narrative. And I think Mark Ruffalo's an incredible Bruce Banner. I don't hate the whole Smart Hulk thing as a lot of other people do. That being said, it's not my favorite thing. I do wish we got more of that Age of Ultron Bruce Banner, that 2012 Avengers Bruce Banner. Hulk, I could take or leave. I don't really care, to be honest with you. But it would be nice to see that version of the character back. And I know that they asked I almost said Mark Hamill. I know they asked Mark Ruffalo what he wanted to see them do with the character, and I know he gave them ideas, but at least from what I've heard Mark Ruffalo say, they didn't really use a lot of those ideas because a lot of them have to do with like a Hulk film, and that's just not going to happen. But yeah, the Incredible Hulk, ass. It's ass.
Yeah, no, and like literally, like there was a fucking tweet. Still can't, like, this is what I'm talking about, bro. Like, you fucking say some like hating ass shit on the MCU, or like you talk about fucking Disney in like some like weird way, like whatever, you're gonna get like clicks and views and likes or whatever, because literally there was a gif whatever of the Incredible Hulk, like where he's like fucking he's in like Hulk form. He takes like he like rips off like his shirt or whatever, and this person said, "This right here is aura, not any of that Mark Ruffalo Disney shit." Like,
yes, I saw that too.
Yeah, fucking got like 130,000 fucking likes,
and then people in the comments and people in the quote tweets are like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Exactly.
And people like literally like think like the first reply that it didn't even get close to ratioing, because once you get 100,000 likes, it's like it's whatever. But one of the top comments under that tweet is, "This literally screams aura," and it's the scene from Avengers 2012 when he says, "That's my secret cap. I'm always angry," which is
he fucking punches a fucking goddamn like thing. Yeah,
I remember when that came out, it was like my favorite thing in the world was that scene. Like, you kid, and like as a kid, it's really changed since I was a kid, but I was a kid, I loved the Hulk. He was, other than Spider-Man, he was my favorite superhero by far. That scene rocked my world. Do you know what didn't rock my world? The Incredible Hulk. All of the movie, I did not like it.
Yeah, and like people just don't get how fucking they don't get how fucking recast work, dude. It's fucking crazy. That shit fucking bugs the fuck out of me. Really, really fucking weird.
Yeah, we can't just act like The Incredible Hulk's a good movie, and it always has been. And everyone thought it. Everyone's like, actually, it was a good movie. Actually, no, even like us who grew up with it are like, no, it's not. Because you could always come with the defense. It's like, oh, well, people didn't like it then because they're all adults who can voice their opinions, but all the kids watched it and they loved it. And now they're grown, but no, no, it's still ass. Always has been. I suppose I shall do one of mine. This one's a little bit to a lesser extent, and I literally, because I just wrote it down, so my thoughts aren't fully formed. But Venom. Okay. So I feel like recently I just, on the cesspool that is Twitter, just seen so many people, and from what I understand, because the Spider-Man fan base is one thing, but Venom has an entirely separate fan base that is really particular about their Venom. I actually don't know how they feel about the films, but what I do know, or actually I think I would imagine that they do like the films, because of what I'm about to say, because I do know they prefer Venom to not be like super serious, but to me that is Venom. Like I know Venom has in the comics been comedic, and you know he's been more of an anti-hero, you know, the Lethal Protector and what have you. But when Venom's a villain, when Venom's specifically a villain to Spider-Man, he's very serious. Like, am I misremembering that?
I mean, the only thing I can really remember, like with Venom being like a villain of Spider-Man, is like, you know, kind of like from the like
the 90s comics.
The 90s comics.
That's what I'm referring to. But because really where this came from, because we were talking about the trailer, and I was going to bring up Venom in Spider-Man 2, the game, and people are just tearing that shit apart, saying it was like a garbage version of Venom in the all Insomniacs. This is the worst version of Venom. They didn't do Venom justice. And when I played it, I thought it was an incredible version of Venom, because people were saying, oh, they took him too seriously and stuff like that. And they're stuff that I won't spoil, but it's not Eddie. But it doesn't, I feel like that doesn't work. It's like, oh, well, it's not accurate. Most of the Insomniac stuff isn't accurate. Like, Insomniac specifically took the Spider-Man mythos and changed it to make their own version, make it unique to them. And so they just did it again with Venom, but now it's a problem? It just, it doesn't make any sense to me, Tor. Well, I don't know where this idea came from that, like, Venom should be comedic, or Venom shouldn't be a serious character. Why can't we have both? Why does he have to be funny? Like, oh, he's too serious. Well, why can't he be? Because that's not Venom. Why not? Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Like, cause like the only time I really like delved into Venom mostly was when he was an anti-hero, or when he was working with Spider-Man. Not when he was like a villain, but like, yeah, like when it comes to like, and I had no idea about the Spider-Man 2 game and like the Venom. I wish I should have watched the gameplay, but I just haven't. But yeah,
bro, wait until you get that PS5 and play yourself.
Wait until I get the PS5 until they come in with the PS6 in like two days.
I mean, shit, then the PS5 will be discounted.
You're right. But seriously, yeah, that's the only really time I have delved into like, you know, Venom is when he was like mostly like an anti-hero and working with Spider-Man. Cause like, yeah, like him as a villain, I don't really remember like all that much.
That's mostly what I remember. Is the villainy boy. That's all I have on Venom. What's yours?
So my next one is gonna be about the Amazing Spider-Man series. It's another one.
Here we go. I just wrote down TASM 2.
Oh well, yeah. It mostly has to do with TASM 2, but yeah, but like, you know, like usually, like, you know, when No Way Home was coming out, like I started seeing like all these like edits of like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. You know, they're really, really cool. but I also gave me the question, I was like, where were these people like at in like 2014? Because again, like this was also the time where like I was like, at the time I was like, okay, well, I knew about the Amazing Spider-Man. I saw the first one, and when I saw the second one, I was like, okay, like this looks cool, and I thought this was okay. And people just did not like it. They just did not like this movie. They were hating on it. I saw it on Twitter, and I saw some of it on Instagram at the time. And then like I said, upwards of No Way Home, I saw this like a immense amount of love for the Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I remember watching it like recently, like literally before No Way Home came out, like some years ago or whatever. And I'm like, dude, like this is what people love. Like this movie isn't good. It's not good at all. It looks great and it has great Spidey moments, but it's not a good film. It's very all over the place. It lacks narrative. And one thing about the Amazing Spider-Man, like, film series is they try so hard to make us care about Richard and Mary Parker. I don't give a fuck about those two people. They fucking suck. They're like in like fucking 2 Spider-Man comics.
They give us more of them than they do Aunt May.
Yeah, which is fucking crazy.
Oh, speaking of revisionist history with these, I mean, people love to be like, oh, well, she was a great Aunt May. In what world? Like, she was fine. Like, I'm not saying she was bad, but like compared to the other 2 that we've gotten, she's nothing. Like, she's just like, there.
Like Sally Fields didn't do enough as Aunt May, and I mean, the only, like, I'm not saying like I fucking love Marissa Tomei, but like I think like Rosemary Harris is my definitive Aunt May in live action.
Absolutely.
Like,
literally ripped from the comic.
There's no doubt about that. But seriously, like it's very, very weird, like how just like people like just had this like immense love for this film, and it's been like hated on for like like years and years,
almost pretty a decade.
Yeah, exactly, almost a decade at this point, or pretty much is a decade.
Yeah, it's one thing, because I do think this is a case of, oh well, people saw those movies as a kid, and now that they're older, they have a voice, they can express their love for it. But at the same time, it's quite odd that all of that happened right after No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, yeah, what happened? Where were you? Like, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we want TASM 3. Since when? And actually, like, there are great movies, and like I can see an argument made for the first film, but the second one, no. And people are making excuses now for like jumping through crazy ass hoops to excuse that scene in the beginning where he just lets Rhino just run through all those cars. Like, people were like, oh, it was probably just a production error. No. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, no, but seriously, and like, and now, like, I have expressed like my thoughts of like Andrew Garfield getting the Amazing Spider-Man 3, and I am all for it, but I can't just be like, yeah, I've like, I've liked this film from the beginning, and I've been wanting this like film. Like, no, I can't do that.
Like, we'll take it.
Yeah, like we'll take it, but I'm not like a fucking The Amazing Spider-Man like meat writer,
Yeah.
And even for the first movie too, like the first movie, at least like when it came out, like, according to my like memory, is that like it was like okay, it was fine. There's some flaws with it, but like as a general, like from what I remember, yeah, it was fine. And even for like the people who were in that like the community of like comic book fans and like movie media people, stuff like that. Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2 comes out and it's like, it's fucking dog shit, it's fucking horrible. And then and then it's also fine like to to watch a movie and like like it again or whatever, but now you have like this whole community, or like this whole like revisionist history thing. I'm like, oh yeah, like this movie was really great. It's a really good movie. It's like the best Spider-Man movie. Shut the fuck up. No, it's fucking not, dude. This movie's fucking.
Actually, it's not a good movie, but it is a good Spider-Man movie.
It has great Spidey moments, but it is a bad film. It's bad.
And it's like to the point again where it's like, oh well, the kids who watched it then loved it, and they have a voice now. We're for the Amazing Spider-Man series specifically, because obviously we like grew up with the Raimi films, but we were prime age for those TASM films. Like that was the age to be. like if they were catering to any age group, we were in that age group, right? And I remember if you were talking about in a conversation about Spider-Man and you were like, oh, who's your favorite Spider-Man? You said Andrew Garfield, or you said like the Amazing Spider-Man films were like your favorite ever. You're getting shit on.
Yeah, you're getting fucking shit on, dude.
Like even in our age group, it's like no one liked those films. Now, I didn't like those films. Now, since I have come around on it, and I do enjoy those films for what they are, so maybe other people have also done the same, and now that this group of people are a lot more vocal about loving that version of the character. But you can't just go and be like, it's always been like this. We've actually always loved it. And actually everyone loved it. It's like, we've always wanted this. No, that's you were getting shit on in school, bro. I liked Andrew Garfield. No, you didn't. Toby was better. That's how it was.
Yeah, and like barely people were they were saying Tom as well. It was mostly just like Toby stuff.
Oh yeah, well yeah, when Civil War came out and even Homecoming, it was like, holy shit. Like obviously people were still like the Iron Boy Jr. or whatever, and that was already a conversation. But even then people were just like, yeah, Andrew's not great. I feel like we sound like boomers. Back in my day, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that now. See, back in my day, we liked Tobey Maguire. He was the only Spider-Man. There wasn't no other Spider-Man. It's the only movies we had. It's the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man with the Willem Dafoe and Dr. Octopus. That was my Spider-Man when I was growing up. When I was your age, I watched Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. We didn't have these newfangled Tom Hollands.
I was trying to find a quote from Andrew Garfield. I mean, it probably could have been like Twitter clickbait, of like, because like the post I saw was like Andrew Garfield speaks on like or he was being asked about the Amazing Spider-Man 3, and he said like, oh yeah, like, or it said, where the fuck were y'all in 2014? And like I said, it could have been fake or whatever. And I was trying to search for it, and I saw some tweets that are like, love seeing people appreciating Andrew Garfield, but where the fuck were y'all in 2014? I was fighting for my life.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's what I mean. It wasn't a great time to be an Andrew Garfield fan. And he's going through the same, or at the time, he was going through the same thing that Tom Holland is going through now, which is, we're going to see the same thing in 10 years, although at least Tom Holland has just better movies. But at the time, Andrew Garfield was going through the thing of, people were just shitting on his version of the character, but there's this weird stigma around Spider-Man actors. People are like, oh, Andrew Garfield can't act, he can only do Spider-Man. Obviously that's a dumb fucking thing to say now, but Tom Holland's going through the same thing. Oh, like, we can only see him as Spider-Man. Oh, he can't act. It's the same thing. Out of any of them, the one who can't act is Toby, but I'll just it's just me, I guess. Some shit's just cringeworthy.
I think I found it. Let me see.
Said it was an interview?
Yeah, I found the tweet that I found the tweet. It says breaking a new interview with Variety. Andrew Garfield was asked about the possibility of the Amazing Spider-Man 3. The actor replied, "Where the fuck were you people? Yeah, where the fuck were all you people in 2014?"
Fake news.
Yeah, it's probably fake. But that was the tweet. That was the tweet. Oh yeah, this was like fucking 2022. Yeah, this was like fucking old. Old ass shit.
Old
I don't
ass
know why.
shit from 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how the fuck it popped up on my fucking Twitter feed like now, but crazy. That's it. Let me stop talking about Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. Great actor though. Just had a bad script. He is still a great Spider-Man.
It's true. He got the Brandon Routh treatment. We talked about this.
Oh yeah, Brandon Routh, dude. Crazy.
All right, Jordan, it's time.
Time for what?
Let's talk about Star Wars.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, my favorite subsector of people.
Yeah, the best. Especially right now with the Acolyte coming out. Oh, it's real fun on Twitter. It's so fun.
I know, right?
Apparently, I'm not going to talk about the Acolyte later, but because I kind of want to wait until the rest of the series is done. But the rumor is the next episode that comes out tomorrow. The rumor is, for people who have seen it early, it's going to make a lot of people mad. I don't know how true that is, but I'm kind of excited. I can't wait to watch it, and they're going to be like, this is Jedi Master fucking Uga Sawigo or some shit like that. And they're like, oh, hello, my pronouns are they, them. And just watch the internet fucking implode.
That's crazy.
It's going to be so fun. Anyway, I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want to talk about The Force Awakens or the prequels? We're going to talk about both, but what do you want first?
Well, I guess let's talk about, The Force Awakens.
All right. So The Force Awakens. The sequels, as we all know, are garbage. The worst things to ever grace our screens. Am I right or am I right?
What?
The sequels, the Star Wars sequels, are the worst films to ever be made. We can all agree.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, someone's a fake Star Wars fan. But yeah, clearly, they're all trash. And they always have been trash, and everyone has thought so, right? Torrin, you seem confused. All I'm asking is if it's true that the sequel trilogy, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker, they're all trash and should be thrown in the garbage bin, deleted forever, and deleted from canon.
I think the Rise of Skywalker should, but other than that, I don't think so.
Well, Torrin, the internet will have you believe that everyone hates The Force Awakens just as equally as The Rise of Skywalker. Don't you agree? It's trash. When you saw The Force Awakens, Torrin, what did you think?
That was pretty cool.
Sad to hear. Truly sad. Didn't realize you were a Disney shill. No. Yeah, so there's a bunch of people that are just like, oh no, the sequel trilogy fucking sucks. It's terrible from the start. No, people liked The Force Awakens. Did people think it was fucking brilliant? No. They certainly. I remember when I saw it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a blast. I thought it was a lot of fun. But I had complaints mostly with the fact that it was pretty much beat for beat A New Hope. That's been talked to death. I'm not going to get into that. But generally speaking, people enjoyed the film. This whole idea of the sequel trilogy and all of Disney this and Disney that didn't come around until The Last Jedi, which was 2 years later. Because for a couple years there, we were riding pretty fucking high, bro. The Force Awakens, and the next year Rogue One came out. Hello?
I know, right?
We were fucking eating, bro. And then The Last Jedi came out, everything hit the fan. Literally every single movie after that, it's been, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. Every show has come out after that, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. Oh, Disney. Shame. Yeah, this one's pretty short, but yeah, obviously, and people liked The Force Awakens. I don't know where the fuck that came from. It doesn't make sense. You can look literally anywhere online. It's pretty clear, but well, I'll talk to it in the prequels. Let's move on to the prequels, Torrin. Let's move on to the prequels. The prequels, Torrin, are the best things to ever exist. They're the best things to ever grace our screens. They are the holy trinity of all films. And George Lucas is a god amongst us mere mortals and should be put on the throne that God himself sits upon. Do you agree?
That's kind of crazy to say, to be honest.
Look, man. I'm just saying the reality of the situation. The prequels are just that good, and they always have been, and no one has thought otherwise.
That's still kind of crazy to say. I don't believe that.
I don't know how you couldn't. You're telling me you don't love Revenge of the Sith?
Oh, I do.
You're telling me you hate, despise, loathe the Phantom Menace?
There's only one thing that's memorable from that. Well, three things actually: pod racing, Jar Jar, and the Obi-Wan Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul fight.
And you love Jar Jar.
Oh, I do, but people didn't like him. He got immense hate.
What do you mean people didn't like? What immense hate? What are you talking about?
People did not like Jar Jar, bro.
People love Jar Jar.
No, dude.
People love Jar. They always have loved Jar Jar, man.
Nah.
Especially, and don't get me started on Attack of the Clones. I mean, talk about peak Attack of the Clones. I mean, come on.
The only thing that's memorable from Attack of the Clones is when Jango Fett got his head cut off.
But what about the sand?
His core is just rough and it gets everywhere.
Iconic. Oh, and the romantic scenes between Padme and Anakin.
He got groomed.
Jesus. He got groomed?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one, bro. It seems like he was being the manipulative one.
No.
Anyway, the prequels are fucking garbage.
Whoa, fucking garbage is fucking crazy.
They're fucking terrible.
They're not terrible.
Yes,
bro.
Revenge of the Sith. Oh,
no,
Revenge of the Sith. It's
dude,
good.
I like them, dude. Everyone, I'm just kidding.
Just switch roles.
But like, I haven't seen the prequels in a long time, but the Phantom Menace, like I remember very little from it. I mean, I want to rewatch it. I was going to rewatch it at some point at the theater for the 25th anniversary.
Sure.
I don't even know. Yeah, 25th, because it came out in 99. And then I just didn't do it. And then Attack of the Clones, I don't remember shit about Attack of the Clones ever. Jango Fett getting his head cut off, bro. Shit's fucking funny. Because he couldn't do shit that Mace Windu do.
I'll give Attack of the Clones one thing. It has the best joke in probably the entire franchise.
What is it?
Obi-Wan is captured, and then Padme and Anakin go to save him. And he's tied up, and he's walking back. He's like, and Obi-Wan's like, "What are you doing here?" And Anakin's like, "We're here to save you." He looks up. Good job.
He's like, yeah, I saw that.
It's so good.
And then, like, the only fact I remember is that like it was filmed with like 720p, shit like that. For like I could tell it was filmed 720p.
I think it was filmed in 2K.
No, bro.
Pretty sure it was filmed in 2K.
2K was not out at the time, bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
No,
I mean, not in home formatting, but
nah, bro. And then Revenge of the Sith is the best one. That was the one that I continuously watched on DVD all the time after I came home from school. From elementary. I would just put on Revenge of the Sith.
I usually watch it on road trips
over and over. Yeah, it's always a good thing too. And then, yeah, other than that, like, yeah, it was crazy.
But yeah, obviously, I feel like this has been talked to death, but everyone seems to think the prequels are some fucking godsend. Obviously, they're not.
They're fucking not, dude.
Everyone fucking hated them at the time. I mean, talk about Jake Lloyd bullying him. Ahmed Best being nearly pushed to suicide just because of Star Wars fans. George Lucas, a prime factor of him even selling Star Wars to Disney was him not having to deal with Star Wars fans, because at the time the narrative was that anything George Lucas does was the wrong thing. But now he's like put up, George Lucas can do nothing wrong.
He's put up on a fucking pedestal
because all the sequels are so bad, which is just not true for the most part, or all Disney Star Wars for that matter.
But they fucking cherry pick.
Exactly. And it was the same with the MCU. It's like, oh, ever since I've seen so many tweets that like, oh, ever since the MCU was Disneyfied. Oh, you mean
At the fucking beginning?
Yeah, you mean at the beginning with Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk. I think the first
in fucking 2009 when fucking Disney fucking bought the rights to Marvel, bro.
Yeah, I think the first like actual like Disney production was the first Avengers film.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like come on, we had like, oh, since it was Disneyfied. Oh, you mean your precious The Winter Soldier when that was Disneyfied? That's Disney.
Your fucking precious Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, Endgame,
Civil War,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
But yeah, sure, man. Everything was better before Disney got it.
Yeah, I would have loved fucking seeing Daredevil 2003 way before fucking Disney bought it, bro.
Anyway, obviously the prequels are bad. The prequels are still bad, always have been, obviously, except Revenge of the Sith, although I have my issues with it. It's not perfect by any means. And it's certainly the prequels revisionism has only gotten worse since we've gotten extra media that just enhance that era. But it is what it is, I guess. I mean, definitely Star Wars fans are normal. Certainly not bigoted in any way or fucking the dumbest people alive. I don't know why you would think that. Torn, the MCU is garbage. The MCU is garbage now. It's terrible. Every single project after Endgame has been bad. And honestly, they probably should have stopped at Endgame. Because, like, I mean, think about it. Everything has went downhill since Endgame. I mean, Phase 3, I think everyone can agree, is perfect. But specifically Phase 1 and 2, I mean, untouchable. Like, every single film there, I mean, compared to now, the garbage that's being put out now, I mean, those movies are just incredible. Wouldn't you agree?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's just like that, like the MCU, it's just turning woke, and they're just taking everything that I love so hold and dear to my heart, and they're just doing something that I just don't like with it,
Just ruining it, man.
Like, I just can't believe that, like, from what I saw on the great app Twitter, that they're turning Silver Surfer into a woman. That's not my Silver Surfer. He was always male.
That's true.
And then you got all these women shows like She-Hulk and Miss Marvel.
Ugh.
God, man.
Disgusting.
Man, the MCU is so fucking bad. There was no good movies out. But I can't wait for Deadpool and Wolverine, though.
I already bought my ticket. Yeah,
I bought my tickets.
I'm so fucking ready for that, bro.
I fucking hate MCU. I still fucking bought tickets to the newest movie.
Yeah, bro, the MCU's fucking dead in the fucking water. I mean, sure, Shang-Chi did save the MCU. And sure, No Way Home definitely saved the MCU. And yeah, Black Panther Wakanda Forever saved the MCU. And sure, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 MCU. But it's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead, and it needs saving. Luckily, Deadpool and Wolverine's going to save the MCU.
I know. And then, yeah, I really love Moon Knight. And, man, I can't wait for Daredevil Born Again. But still, the MCU's fucking dead, dude.
Yeah, the MCU's dead. I mean, this shit needs to be saved, bro. But Phase 1 and Phase 2, I mean, come on. Iron Man 2, like, talk about peak, right? Thor the Dark World, incredible. One of the best films I've ever seen. Really.
Fucking crazy, bro.
But yeah, obviously Revisionist History with the Phase 1 and Phase 2 acting like they were like just as good as Phase 3. Yeah, the MCU has been, look, the MCU has been generally more hits than misses, but they've had their misses in the beginning. The Incredible Hulk, Thor the Dark World, some would even say the first Thor. I would disagree, but
let's not forget about fucking Captain Marvel. When Captain Marvel came out, fucking people hated that shit, dude.
The beginning of the end.
Beginning of Captain Marvel.
The beginning of the end. of the MCU.
Oh.
And also the fan base.
Yeah, people were like, I fucking hate Brie Larson.
For no reason.
I was like, ain't no way.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, like there were misses in Phase 3 as well. Ant-Man and the Wasp is one of my least favorite. People are okay with Captain Marvel, but generally it's even like me, who's someone that I did enjoy it, it's still on the lower end in my opinion. Like phase 1, the entire MCU up until the end of Phase 3 just had its dull moments, and just people acting like the MCU has just been untouchable. Hell, Black Panther, or at least to us, is just okay, and that was Phase 3. It doesn't make sense. Torn. Age of Ultron, people love Age of Ultron now.
Oh yeah.
People considered Guardians of the Galaxy 2 to be pretty disappointing at the time. But yeah, it's ridiculous.
Crazy even.
Crazy indeed. That's all I have.
Another one I was trying to think of about, I wasn't really sure if it was like revisionist history, but the one thing I was also thinking about was like The Shining. Because people fucking hated The Shining at first. And then now it's like a fucking like...
It's a classic. Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, I can't really speak up too much about that because I was not even living. I wasn't even fucking conceived.
You weren't even thought of it. You weren't even an idea.
I know I was not.
You probably weren't even a sperm yet.
You were going too far, bro.
Oh, no.
This is crazy.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, you're right.
Before we start recording, we talked about trying to think of like DC films, but there is none as far as the revisionist history things go. It's very consistent. Like I went down the entire like DC film slate, and I'm like, no, Batman 89, people still enjoy it, and people still consider it iconic, and it informed a lot of the Batman stuff we have now. Everyone was pretty much still in agreement with the Bale films, Rises being the worst out of the three, and Dark Knight being number one, and blah blah blah. DCEU has pretty much remained unchanged as far as opinions go. It's always been the Snyder cultists that act like it's the best thing ever. So I mean, I guess that's one thing DC has is consistency in opinions, I guess. Is that a positive?
I guess.
I guess. Their movies are generally worse, but I mean, hey, everyone's in agreement to some extent, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there any revisionist history with the X-Men films?
Not that I remember.
Yeah, I can think of. Other than, well, no, that's not revisionist history, I guess. First Class, like no one saw, but everyone that did saw it really liked it.
And now it's like a beloved X-Men film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as it should be.
Yeah, it's not really revisionist history.
Yeah.
Because like also then again, it was like I wasn't even like in these like communities as like a kid.
Yeah, you weren't born yet either.
Yeah, I was not born yet. Wait, what?
First Class came out in 2011.
Yeah, I know.
You weren't born yet.
Fuck.
We were born when X-Men was out.
We were born. I was a fucking little baby.
You're a little bitch baby, yeah.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Anyway.
Wait, hold on.
I guess there's revisionist history around that, like people are saying like those movies are bad. The originals.
I mean, they are. I mean, I haven't seen people say that the X-Men movies are good. I mean, like I don't know. I haven't seen any switch up on that. I mean, it's been quite consistent for me.
After X-Men 97, people were like, "Yeah, this is more proof that the original movies fucking are horrible." I'm like, "Huh? When that happened?"
It was oh yeah, yeah. No, it's crazy. I have really like nothing else to say.
I don't either. So I guess this topic. What you watched this week?
I didn't watch shit this week.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
What did I watch?
Bro always forgets what he watched, despite his letterbox being right there.
Oh, I watched Talk to Me.
There you go.
That was fucking crazy. It was crazy, but people were like, "Oh yeah, there's a scene in here where it's like so fucking brutal and blah blah blah." Shut the fuck up! It ain't shit, bro.
Jesus.
Yeah, but yeah, motherfuckers like, yeah, like this is a really gruesome scene, and like, but I know, no, it's not that bad. It's actually like pretty tame. I mean, the aftermath of what happens to that kid, it's pretty fucked up. But pretty much like, are you gonna watch it?
No.
Spoilers for Talk to Me if you ever want to watch it. It's on Paramount Plus. But pretty much like Talk to Me is about like a woman who like it's fucking crazy, bro. The first black person to do some fucking crazy shit in this movie. It's fucking nuts. Usually they be out of the party, or they be out of the film. But yeah, and it's about like about a woman who is dealing with the death of her mother, who plays a like, you know, a fucking like kind of like a game to talk to, like, it's kind of like a fucking like a Ouija board, but like it's like with a hand or whatever, and pretty much like the spirits take over your body, and like this is really like crazy like psychological journey of like what she has to deal with. But like the scene I was talking about is that like basically they're having like these like parties or whatever, where like they basically like let the fucking demons into like their bodies, like with like with the hand, and a kid tries it, and the kid is like like the main girl's friend's brother, and you know he ends up like having the fucking spirits in him for like too long, and they were taking over his body, and he was fucking bashing his fucking head in like on the table and like everywhere. And because pretty much like one of the things of the game is that like once the demons or the spirits have your body, they're gonna try to fucking kill you. So nice. Basically the fucking demon was like trying to like kill this kid, and he was bashing his head all over the place.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a pretty crazy movie. I really liked it. Of course, it was directed by Raka. Yeah. They had a really nice
YouTubers.
Yeah, nice legacy on YouTube, you know, doing like a bunch of like you know, horror shorts and stuff like that.
And the fucking the Ronald McDonald.
Yeah.
They're doing Street Fighter now, you know that?
Really?
Yeah, they're doing the Street Fighter movie.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, it's gonna look good anyways if Talk to Me was like this.
Yeah, and based on their YouTube stuff, I mean, them doing Street Fighter makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, true. And also the sequel to Talk to Me is in the works. So,
and a prequel.
Oh, so we're doing universe now, I guess.
The Talk to Me verse.
Talk to Me first. Talk to Me chapter 1.
Oh no.
Which, like, I mean, like, I honestly feel like if they're gonna do a Talk to Me prequel, it should be a show. Only because, like, basically in the movie is that like the hand that they're speaking to, it's like a medium. It was like a hand of like a psychic. So that's why they're able to see all these fucking spirits and shit. So I guess that would be cool. But yeah, that's pretty much all I watched this week. Just Talk to Me. Been wanting to watch it for a long time and just didn't see it until now.
I went on a bit of a spree this week.
Oh, you trying to be like me for real?
True, bro. Well, trying to be like, already am. I watched more than you, so therefore,
okay.
The true binge king.
Let me lock in real quick after this.
But I watched 12 Angry Men.
For the first time?
Technically, no.
Okay. I
had watched it years and years and years ago. I'm pretty sure I actually watched it in school for some reason. I don't remember what the context was. But I think it had been so long. I only remember the ending, essentially, basically the outcome, essentially, and one other aspect of the film. But other than that, I didn't really remember any of it. So I might as well have been watching it for the first time. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I have seen it in school. It's one of my favorite black and white films, and you know how I feel about black and white films.
You hate that shit.
I do.
It's a great film.
It is a
Incredible.
great film. I love how intense it is, and how it kind of also reminds me a little bit of, oh man, you haven't seen this film, but also like just I guess like the way like the concept and the layout is, it's kind of like this film I watched called Rashomon by Akira Kurosawa, and it's pretty much like, you know, all like the different like perspectives and like different ways of like how they remember things and go on in that story. But anyway, 12 Angry Men, like I just love how like it's just like, you know, you definitely see how people are, and that's like how like it's kind of like this like real world perspective. I loved it. 12 Angry Men whenever I watched it.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
True. Well,
I mean at the end, until the end, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fantastic. It's one of those movies that's like it makes sense why it's a classic. It's not just like people don't just call it a classic because it's a classic. It's actually good. Yeah, because I remember when I watched it in school, I really enjoyed it, and I was like, I'm gonna watch it again. I'll probably enjoy it more, and I did, because it's 12 people. It's 12 dudes in a room just talking.
12 dudes in a room in a hot summer day, just talking about, I'm like, why the fuck they feel a need? What?
They're talking about murder. What murder?
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Although I will say the entire movie, I'm just looking at each of the actors. I'm like, who would I cast now? And one of them I'd cast Jason Segel. One of the guys I'd probably cast Willem Dafoe.
Fucking Jonathan Banks.
The main guy, or not, well, yeah, he's the de facto main character. Probably get Cillian Murphy.
That's good. Fucking Ryan Gosling. No, I'm kidding.
They remade the film in the 90s. I haven't seen that, and I kind of don't want to. But low key, I honestly, fuck it, why not remake it? This is a movie they should remake every 3 decades, because why not? They should do the same thing with The Shining. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, great film. 10 out of 10. It's a classic. It's number 3 on Letterboxd. Did you know that? It is. Does it deserve it? Probably. I also watched If. John Krasinski's If. Starring Kaylee. I get her confused with the one that was in Civil War because they're both named Kaylee. Or, yeah. Whatever her name is. The little girl. And Ryan Reynolds. And Steve Carell. And a bunch of other people in it. This movie did not get good reviews. I actually don't know what it's at right now.
It's at 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's at 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience score is?
It's 88%.
And if you ask me, I'm in that 88%. This movie was delightful. What the hell? What's this 50%? What the hell? It's delightful. Is it great? No, but it's also a kids movie. Like, usually I'm of the mind, like, because usually if it's like take Garfield, for example, the new Garfield, or even, I can't think of anything right now. Let's just say Garfield. Like, it's bad, right? Let's just say it's bad. We haven't seen it, but let's just say it's bad, because it's getting mostly bad reviews, even from audiences. The usual excuse is like, oh, well, it's a kid's movie. It's like, yeah, well, a kid's movie can also be good. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a family movie, if it's a kid's movie, you want everyone to enjoy it. So make it good. And this one, I'm a little confused because it's a kid's movie and I thought it was pretty good. Like, again, it wasn't incredible, but it was good. Like, especially for the goal that I think John Krasinski was going for. It was good. Like, now on Letterboxd, just full transparency, I gave it a 10 out of 10. Now, in reality, as a movie, it's probably like a 7.5, maybe an 8 if you like whimsy, I guess. Yeah, but like realistically, the movie is a 7 to an 8 out of 10. But I have a rule that if a movie makes me cry, it gets an automatic 10 out of 10. And unfortunately, it made me cry at the end. I hate to say it, it made me cry at the end. I didn't expect that it would, because I was like, it's going to be a heartfelt, you could tell at the beginning what they're going for, kind of. And unfortunately, it made me cry at the end. And actually, the main thing that happens didn't get me. It was a different thing that got me. And I was like, son of a fucking bitch, John Krasinski, goddamn. Yeah, it was solid. I think it's a solid watch. Did you go into watch in theaters? Well, maybe, because it didn't do very well in its initial weekend. But surprise, surprise, Torrin, if you leave a film in the theater, it's gonna find an audience and actually make money. That's a wild thing to do. Just leave the movie in the theater and just let it accumulate money instead of just throwing it on digital 2 weeks later. It's a wild concept. It's a wild concept. No movie has ever done it before. But yeah, they've left it in the theater, and now it's making money. It's found its audience and it's making money, word of mouth, etc. Damn, crazy that's happened. But yeah, solid film. I would definitely give it a watch. Maybe wait for it on streaming. I don't know if it's theater worthy, despite it actually making money now. But yeah, it's really solid. It's, as our friends would say, it was cute. It was cute. But yeah, it made me cry. And I hate to say that. I hate to say it. Not because... It's because... I hate to say it because I'm a man and men don't cry. I only hate to say it because I really didn't think it would, and it did. And it's John Krasinski. And I love John Krasinski, but I don't want him to make me cry. Fucking John Krasinski, piece of shit. I love John Krasinski, but fuck him. Fuck John Krasinski. Hashtag we hate John Krasinski. Actually, speaking of John Krasinski, I've seen talk about revisionist history. So many people are like on a hating John Krasinski train right now. Same with Ryan Reynolds. I don't know what's happening. The internet's getting internet though, I guess. Anyway, I've been playing some video games, Tor. I'm playing video games. I've been playing, I wanted to play the Alan Wake-averse. I don't know what else to call it. Maybe it does have a name, I'm not sure. But Alan Wake 2 released a year ago? 2 years ago? I don't remember when it released, but it looked incredible. And I was like, I want to play that. But obviously it's Alan Wake 2, so I got to play Alan Wake 1. And I did a little bit of, Googling, hoping not to get spoiled, but it was essentially like, yeah, you got to play Alan Wake 1, which I was probably going to do anyway, but I just wanted to make sure. And yeah, so I played Alan Wake 1, and let me tell you, Torn, story, real solid. A lot of the concept, I'm like, this is really, really cool. I understand why this is it's considered a cult classic game, and Alan Wake 2 is super loved and critically acclaimed. But Alan Wake 1 was considered a cult classic. It didn't make like huge waves. It was just kind of there. It's kind of like this little indie horror game. Let me tell you, yeah. So the story, really solid. A lot of cool concepts. A lot of stuff that they leave unanswered because it was setting up for a sequel. But the gameplay, it was rough. It was rough, and not because like I don't even know. It was just rough. It was just super frustrating because like the gameplay, the initial gameplay loop itself isn't frustrating though. You gotta hold up a flashlight to the enemies, that it like burns darkness off of them, because the whole thing is like, oh, everything's in darkness and light is like your savior or whatever. So you hold a flashlight to them, you burn the darkness off them, and you shoot them. Simple enough. Unfortunately, the dodge mechanic is real fucking dodgy, no pun intended. But it's not great. And it came out in 2010, so I can give it some slack, especially from a studio. It's not like it's fucking Rockstar. So like the polish isn't there. Although I did play the remastered version, and I'll expect maybe a remastered version to, maybe play a little bit better, but it seems to be more of a graphical remaster and less of anything else. But yeah, it was just, I didn't like the game mechanics. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun gameplay wise. It was just frustrating, and I just found myself like, oh my god, can we please get this over with so I can fucking just see the next bit of story? And that's not necessarily what you want out of a game. So yeah, that wasn't fantastic. But there were some gameplay elements that I did kind of enjoy. There was some driving stuff that I thought was kind of fun, but ultimately it was just exhausting and just annoying. That being said, the writing itself was really solid. However, again, 2010, relatively indie game. The performances for some of this stuff was not great. The main character, Alan Wake, is pretty unlikable, but not in like he's not that great of a guy, but he's likable. Nah, he's just fully unlikable. That being said, I do think they figured out what to do with him, because there's 2 DLCs and I think he's written much better there, and presumably in the second game he's also much better. But there's also a lot of stuff that happens to him, so maybe it's just he doesn't have room to be likable. I don't know. Regardless, it was solid enough, and it didn't, but it also didn't like deter my desire to play the second game, which looks stupidly good. It's incredibly polished. The graphics are insane. But I also played Control, which takes place in the same universe, same studio. It's a completely different story, and in a completely different design of game. So much better. It's so much better. That Control released in, I think, 2019. Yeah, it's so much better. The gameplay loop is way better. However, Alan Wake and Control, I do have similar complaints in that the game just throws enemies at you, and it just, for the sake of it, like, it's like artificial difficulty, like just to make the game harder, we're just going to throw extra enemies at you, which is a little bit frustrating. But Control, it's so much smoother. The gameplay is really fun. It's more shooting, but there's more supernatural elements, so you get to do more supernatural abilities. It's really cool. The visual style is stunning. It sort of does, the only thing I can really think to compare it to is the Evil Dead thing with the title screen. It's just like big letters, and it fucking just pops up at you and just plays this like boom, like sound. It's fucking great. It's like you enter a room and it's like, it just title screen. It's cool.
Very ominous.
Yeah. Alan Wake is a horror game. Control, however, is an action adventure. Alan Wake didn't scare me, probably because I was just frustrated most of the time. Control, however, action adventure, but because it takes place in the same universe and it's kind of just Remedy's thing. The studio is Remedy. It's probably just their thing. There are horror elements in Control, and the horror elements I found were scarier than Alan Wake. However, I do anticipate Alan Wake 2 to be more scary. However, Alan Wake it's a horror game, but there's definitely a lot of camp in it, which is fun. There is a lot of fun stuff in it. There was a lot of fun writing in it. But yeah, Control was fantastic. There's still 2 DLCs in Control that I need to play, so I'm not technically done with it, but I played the main story, really solid. Towards the end, it got real wacky in a good way. Like the concepts in it are fucking, like, it's real trippy, that kind of shit. I love that stuff. Super happy I played it. And once I play the DLCs, it's on to Alan Wake 2. I'm very excited. But yeah, so Control is really fun, or still is fun because I'm still playing it. But I also watched Godzilla -1 finally. It's the only monster film I've watched. And man, it's a good thing I watched it because it was really solid. Emphasis on just solid. It was okay.
It's crazy.
Do I think it was overhyped? Kinda.
Wow.
Because a lot of the stuff I heard from it, I guess it's old enough to get into some spoilers. No,
Man,
we'll just get
you
into
haven't
spoilers.
seen Godzilla -1. Just spoil that shit. Just talk about it.
Okay,
We're halfway into 2024.
fair enough. Okay, fair warning, those spoilers. People, I knew there wasn't going to be like a crazy amount of Godzilla because it was going to be more focused on the human characters, but the human characters are way better than the American versions of these films. So I went in knowing that, but people were also like, oh, Godzilla is like super mean in this, and he's just like fucking, he's like really just clearly just wants destruction. And I didn't fully get that. I thought there was good. I thought even though I knew there wasn't going to be that much Godzilla, I thought there was going to be more Godzilla. I don't know if that makes sense. But like, I thought there was going to be more destruction from him. However, the destruction he does cause, crazy. Crazy, especially in the city. Holy shit. I thought there was going to be like at least one more section of him destroying shit, but it's really that one section of him doing the heat blast towards the city, creating the fucking explosion, which was fucking crazy. That was so cool. So yeah, only Godzilla movie, only monster movie I've seen, and it's probably the only one I'm gonna watch unless they make a sequel to this, which I think they're working on.
Bro, that's an L, bro.
Look, let's be honest.
Watch the fucking MonsterVerse, bro.
Hell no. Let's be honest.
You don't have to watch fucking Skull Island.
No,
watch 2014.
No, let's be honest. This is the best Godzilla movie. And it's just all downhill from here if I go to see the other ones. Also, I don't want to. I'm content with seeing this. I don't need to see another one unless it's a sequel to this.
This is L. That's an L, bro.
I disagree. I don't like monster movies, man. I don't know what you want from me.
That's an L.
This is more focused on the human characters, that it was executed really well. The main dude, bro, was going through it.
Look. Everything you're saying is so valid. But I feel like you should at least watch the fucking MonsterVerse, bro.
If I'm gonna watch another Godzilla movie, it's gonna be Shin Godzilla.
That's a good one.
But that's it. I don't want to see this American bullshit. All right.
You shouldn't stop there. But well, then you don't have to watch the American ones. You can watch the Japanese Godzilla. I
don't want to watch those either. I'll.
Why?
I don't want to.
Why?
I don't want to.
Why don't you want to?
Maybe maybe there'll be a day where I get an itch and I will. But as of right now, I don't want to. I'm content with just seeing Godzilla -1.
This is a W, but you're still breaking my heart. Yeah, Godzilla -1
is conflicted.
Bro, cause like
misusing his influence.
Look, Godzilla -1 is fucking amazing. It's like damn near perfect. The only reason why it's not perfection is that it just ends. It's damn near perfect. But like, bro, I mean, I don't know. I like seeing monster movies. They're really nice. They're really comforting to me. I like seeing big monsters fight, especially big lizard, dude. Big gigantic radioactive lizard. Fucking dude, but dude, you can't fucking tell me that you don't want to see 2014 Godzilla, bro. That shit's crazy. That shit's crazy, bro. Fucking Godzilla against the fucking Mutos. Holy shit. Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Elizabeth Olsen. Three.
Doesn't Bryan Cranston die like really early on?
Shit, no, he doesn't. He doesn't die.
I heard I know he's wasted in some way.
He's not wasted. No,
he's wasted.
No, he's not. You wouldn't know because you haven't watched
he went into the movie drunk as shit. He was wasted.
No, fucking no. He wasn't. They didn't give him alcohol and said I was there.
Oh. I don't want to watch. Look, let me talk about Godzilla -1. Christ. It was a good movie.
It's not a good movie. It's a great movie. Amazing even.
I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Great. Yes. That makes me happy. It doesn't have to be 10 into a 7. Fuck you. I'm off.
I will say I didn't like it as much as The Fall Guy. That being said, no, I'm just kidding. Look, it was a good movie.
Stop saying it's good. It's great.
The human element was fantastic. The main guy was just going through it. Bro was having a rough go of it.
I know he was in distraught.
That poor man.
His mental state in just like literally like 3 years is in shambles.
Abysmal. I gave it a 9 out of 10 for this reason. How'd she survive, Torrin?
Did you not see the final scene?
No, that's what I'm saying. How'd she survive?
Bro, she survived.
Doesn't make sense. We watched her get fucking blasted, bro. She got blasted by that shit.
She got blasted and she got saved by Godzilla's irradiation.
That doesn't make sense. He turns around.
A lot of things don't really make sense in the MonsterVerse.
He turns around. Everything, it's leveled. Where'd she go?
Hey, bro, this happens.
Doesn't make any sense. I'll let it slide for bro's sake because he was going through it. He needed to win.
Bro, you watch like some things in movies just don't make sense.
I understand that, but also it really doesn't make sense. It was still a great movie.
You're watching a movie with a giant lizard walking around nuking everything.
Yeah, exactly. He nukes everything. He nukes her.
But then the same question could be asked about the guy. How is he surviving?
What guy? The main guy?
Yeah. How did he survive? If it's a fucking nuke, then like how the fuck did he survive? It's not
actually a nuke.
It's a nuke.
I mean, I know it's like, but it's not like a nuke.
No, it's a nuke.
If it was actually a nuke, he would have got fucking disintegrated.
Is a variant of a nuke, bro. Trust. See, you know that if you watch Godzilla, dude.
If that's the case, then the movie's worse. Do you want me to bring the score down?
No, don't. I'm just saying that if you watch Godzilla, bro,
and I'm just saying that it couldn't have been a nuke because if it was a nuke, he was in the vicinity to get fucking irradiated, bro.
No, you can survive a nuke, dude.
Not at his range.
Yes, of course you can, dude. It happened to both of them.
Oh my god,
dude, you can survive a nuke. It's okay. Not like no one can get obliterated by a nuke. You can survive a nuke, bro. Like point blank range. Trust. I've done it before.
This is what it feels like. My mom and my brother are always like, why do you always gaslight Torrin? I'm like, what are you talking about? You're always gaslighting Torrin on the podcast. I'm like, no, I don't. Name one time.
I can't name one time on the podcast.
Exactly.
But because you do so much of me in fucking real life, so
it's not true.
It is fucking true.
No, it's not. Anyway, I also watched Hitman.
Oh, with Glenn Powell?
Yeah.
The human capybara?
That's disrespectful to capybaras.
You're right. I still can't see that one meme though. That one meme is crazy.
Yeah, so I watched Hitman. What is it, a Netflix original?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I want to though.
Well, tell you what, you should, because it was really great. It was really good. Was it better than Godzilla -1? Yes.
Shut the fuck up.
No, it was really solid. I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. How do I explain that? I think it could have been better. I think it sort of loses itself along the way, kinda. I think it does exactly what it wants to do. I think Richard Linklater did exactly what he wanted to do. However, I wanted it to go in a different direction. Not saying that direction went in was bad. I just wish it went somewhere else. That being said, it was really, really fun. Glenn Powell, I don't think I've actually seen Glenn Powell in anything since Top Gun Maverick, which is weird since he's been in so much stuff since then because he's now a big name. Because I haven't seen anyone but you. Actually, I'm going to look it up. Because I'm pretty sure I haven't.
I think I saw him in something recently.
I know he was in, what was it called? Devotion with, what's his name? Canceled Boy. What's his name? Kang? Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fuck? He was in Rick and Morty for an episode. Jurassic World.
He was in Spy Kids.
Well, yeah, I'm talking post Top Gun Maverick.
He was in Spy Kids.
No, I haven't seen him in anything other than this. He was in Scream Queens. Wow. Anyway, solid film. Do you know what the premise is?
No. Okay.
I don't want to say anything then. However, you could tell by the poster he does like different costumes and shit. That aspect of the movie, super fun. Also, I would recommend going in blind. That's why I don't want to talk about what the concept is. It's super fun. I would literally, because he do like different costumes and like different like characters essentially. The whole movie could have been that and I would have been happy. It's not. And that kind of makes me sad. Or if or like towards more of the movie, I think should have been taken up by that. But that's probably just me, because I thought it was super fun. But yeah, so you're probably gonna watch it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I won't go any further into it. We'll probably talk about it more whenever you watch it. But yeah, super fun movie, really great. Glenn Powell should be in the DCU, but he doesn't want to be, and that kind of makes me mad because I think he really fit in, but it is what it is. Anyway, that's all I watched this week. So is that the show?
That is the show.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to Avengers Podcast. If you want to follow us, we're at Avengers on Twitter. That's AVENGE Nerds, all one word. If you want to follow either one of us, you can reach me at @Inside_on Twitter. Where can they reach you?
At Touring Guy on Instagram.
Incredible. We also have a Discord if you'd like to join the conversation there. This will be linked in the show notes. You can also check out our link tree for any additional links you may be interested in. You can also review the show in-app on Apple Podcasts. If you could leave 5 stars in a review, it'll really help us out. Thanks again for listening to the Avengers Podcast. We'll see you next week.
Later.